Hello, everybody. It is Saturday on Podcast One. I am Vince Russo. I am here with the Princess Noelle Harlow. This is
Hello.
Spilling the Teen Mom Tea. Noelle, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there on this glorious, beautiful day.
Is it glorious and beautiful where you're at?
No, it's horrible. It's cold. It's gray outside. It's bleak. But in my heart, there's always sunshine.
Very nice. There's always sunshine in your
Always
home.
sunshine.
Very, very nice. Okay, now we are going to, Noelle and myself, we're going to give you a little tease. Okay, we had a lengthy, about an hour and a half, Noelle, last night, right? A lengthy conversation, interview with Nathan and the lovely Miss Ashley, his girlfriend. Very interesting interview, about an hour and a half. We left no stone unturned. Since it went a little longer than we planned, we're going to play that interview for you next week. Because if we would have done our review today and the Nathan interview today, this would have been a 3-hour show. So we're wetting your whistle a little bit. You're going to get Nathan's interview unedited, uncut, next week. He talks about everything, the situation with Janelle, his relationship with Kaiser, this last news item with him, being arrested with some kind of a car accident that was everywhere. We discussed that. And it was a very, very interesting interview. But Noelle, we're going to hold off. We're going to play that next week so we could just concentrate on this last episode of Teen.
I think people are going to love this interview because you get to see a different side of Nathan. We always say we run an open forum here and anybody's welcome. And I'll tell you what, Vince and I, we laughed and, he came on and I was a little afraid he was going to be a little standoffish with us, just because of, whatever. Well, he wasn't. He was totally open, came on and told anything. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I think you'll really like it.
I want you to know I was ready and prepared to fight him for you.
Thank you.
If he got nasty, if he said anything, I was ready to fight. I might have got my ass kicked. Make no bones about it. But I was ready to fight him. But, listen, I said at the end of the interview yesterday, Noelle, here's what people are going to say. We kissed Nathan's ass. At the end of the day, bro, I don't want to do an interview with somebody. And at the end of the interview, my goal and my objective is to make you hate this person.
Yeah,
what is the point of that? I swear to God, if we interviewed Farrah, and you know how difficult that would be for me, I would try to find qualities in her that people could actually like. I wouldn't want a negative, ugly, defensive interview. For what, man?
And we joke and we have a good time. And like people sometimes, I guess, take that the wrong way. But we are not the type of people. We joke about ourselves. We laugh at ourselves. The world should laugh at themselves. You're being too staunch if you're not.
I swear to God,
really.
No, I'll never forget it. Maybe this is why I feel the way I do. I'll never forget this, man. I flew over to UK for the first time. Okay. So I go there in UK. I mean, it's a long haul for me. I'd never been overseas before. I was away it was a long trip, man. I was away for like 2 weeks away from home. I was going to town after town after town. And I'll never forget it. I get there and I forget what the name of the show was. It's a very popular show in the UK. They bring me there for an interview. And like, okay, I'm in UK for the first time, the whole 9 yards. And this guy sits down with me with this interview. And like the first thing out of his mouth was, you killed WCW. And I'm like, okay, so right there, you a-hole, right there, you set the stage now to just piss me off, and this is not going to go well. I don't want to do that to anybody. I mean, I want to be honest. I told Nathan, listen, man, it's quite obvious the guy's got a temper. He's probably got a very short fuse. I think during the interview that kind of came out when he admitted to having road rage and this and that. I mean, yeah, there are some things we're going to discuss, but I'm not going to sit here and say, man, bro, you're a real a-hole. Because first of all, I'm and I'm smart enough to know What you're smart enough to know what they shoot on MTV is very freaking selective. That's not the whole freaking person. And it's like, well, I'm gonna interview him and I'm gonna start a fight with him for what?
Yeah, it's not going to make any difference. It's not going to make any difference in the world whether you go and you fight with him or if you let him be himself and let people see him. That's part of what this show is. It didn't start out this way. People think our show has some kind of agenda. Vince and I watched Teen Mom. And we did a review show on Teen Mom, and this is our fun. This is what we wanted to do for fun. And then, it helps Vince because he can relax and do it and not have to talk about wrestling. And I could come on and use my verbal skills and practice not stuttering as I just stuttered and, do that. And it's turned into, you guys have an agenda. You're awful and you're not this and yet. No, we're just not going to sit here and be, this is the Teen Mom News with Vince and Noel. And then when we have a guest on, how can we offend you first so it gets combative? Hell no, we ain't doing that. Please, we're here to have a good time and make people laugh. Let me tell you something. If you are watching this show or listening to the show on Podcast One and you don't have a sense of humor, there's a little button over this way. If you are down here, hit pause and go watch the news.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're not going to get some straight lace BS. You're going to get comedy. You're going to get funny. We're going to make fun of things. I don't care if people want to make fun of my mouth is crooked or make fun of it. I don't care. Vince doesn't care.
Yeah,
We're wrestlers.
It was funny. It was funny. It was funny, Noel, and I hope you get to hear. I don't know when she's going to play, but I went on Kale's show and immediately she was coming right at me. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, did I say things? Yes. Will I back up what I said? Yes. Do I believe what I said was the truth? Yes. But I'm not going to come on here and fight with you. If you want to know why I said the things I said, I will calmly tell you why I said the things I said. I don't dislike you. I don't know you. I have to know you to dislike you. And I said, you can't have heat with me because you guys do a TV show. Then I sit down and I watch this TV show and I have an opinion.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I have an opinion. So you're going to have heat with me. Listen, you want to have a conversation with me? We'll have a conversation with me. This ain't going to be hateful. This ain't going to be ugly. You want to know, why I feel the way I do? No problem. I'll tell you. But anyway, all right, let's go to Teen Mom. Let's start with I want to start with Macy.
Yeah.
Because I want you to kind of explain to me what this condition is she has that came out.
Okay, she has polycystic ovarian syndrome. And a lot of women have that. My mom is texting me. Mom, stop texting me. A lot of women do have that. It is pretty common. It varies in severity. I looked it up for you so I could get you an accurate. So I'm going to turn to look this way. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is a health problem that is caused by an imbalance of reproductive hormones. The hormone imbalance creates problems with your ovaries. The ovaries, that's what makes eggs for you to have children. They're released each month as part of a healthy menstrual cycle. But PCOS, the eggs may not develop correctly. They may not release during ovulation. That she went and saw her gynecologist. You get cysts and they're painful and you have different issues with that. When everybody was criticizing her on how she didn't know she was pregnant, it's because of this. This actually will stop your period from occurring. And then when it finally does occur, it's extreme pain. It can last anywhere from 10 days to a month because it's all backed up inside. And then the cysts break. And then that's very extreme pain, very extreme pain. Women have a lot of issues that other people don't realize. We don't discuss them very often with men. And you know what? That's a problem. We really should. Yeah. We really should. Later on, when we talk about Catelynn, I'm going to open up about some things and I'm going to talk about some women issues and I'm going to talk about some things that happened to me because I think we have a good deal of men that listen to the show. We hear from them. And I think as a woman in this world, maybe I'm responsible too, just like the other women, of letting you guys know what we go through because you'd be interested. You have a wife, you have a daughter, and we don't share enough what's wrong with us. We keep it inside. and maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that I'm glad we can educate people with. But anybody that criticized Macy about not knowing she was pregnant, this is why. This is why she wouldn't know. And she was talking about this surgery, and all the things to correct this are very difficult.
Oh, yeah. When he was talking about, firing lasers into the cyst and hoping you break it up enough. And like, she was like, that's not happening like that. I would have said, you out of your freaking mind. There's no way that's happening.
Yeah, no, that's horrible. And you get to the point where like, you're going to have to make a decision, because it gets to be too much. And a lot of women, they do that, or they take a medication, or they stay on a certain birth control that's supposed to help keep the cysts down. It's having a cyst on your ovary is extremely painful. And I'm talking about like extreme pain, because when they burst, you're in terrible pain. And it's hard. So eventually sometimes women go, take everything. I'll take a hysterectomy full because I can't take it anymore. And she's right. She's got 2 kids to take care of. And there's a lot of women that take care of little kid, or 3. I'm sorry. I said 2. I meant 2 babies and a kid to take care of. And, some people, she's doing her brand thing and all that, and she's promoting the show, and she's doing all this stuff. And reality TV isn't as easy as you think it is, folks. That's some work. And for her to have to get up and deal with that, that's a lot. Macy deserves credit.
Yeah.
A lot of credit.
Anything worth discussing on the Ryan Mackenzie front?
They just talked about, they didn't go on a honeymoon. They both enjoyed the wedding. The wedding made everybody last week kind of lose their minds a little bit, because we saw certain pieces, of course, and the producers covered on their little after thing online that they have, where we have to pick a storyline, they said. So they basically admitted they picked Ryan and the money as a storyline for this wedding. They never really revealed that the guy that married them is her grandfather. So when he said he wouldn't say kiss the bride, it's because he was like, you're not kissing my granddaughter. Like, it was like a cute thing, but they didn't put that in the show. So again, you're missing a portion of the story. But they didn't go on a honeymoon. They talked about custody. They talked about her son and Bentley being together, because her son is so cute. I can't stand how cute he is. But they talked about them being together and being brothers. And maybe this will help Brian. I sure hope it does. Yeah. I sure hope he says, okay, now I have 2 boys that I have to look after and have responsibility for. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm gonna say a prayer for Ryan. I hope it works out for him. But that was pretty much all they talked about, was her health and Ryan's wedding being a surprise to them, that it came out of nowhere and they didn't think that he would ever get married.
Yeah. All right. Where do we go from there? Who's next? Let's
go to Amber, because I want to talk about Gary. Okay. Wow. So Amber was, I had this sent to me because I didn't catch it, because, I don't see very good. So I have to rely on others to catch little things. Did you see that her doormat still says Mr. and Mrs. Bear on it?
I did see that, but what I saw more than anything was, thank the Lord up above, for the first time in I don't know how many weeks. It had to be at least 8 to 10 weeks. At least 8 to 10 weeks, we graduated from freaking bunhead to ponytail. Thank God. My God, at this point, a ponytail looks like, flowing 12-inch freaking locks. Yeah. I'll take the ponytail any day.
She had one of these things going on. She'll eventually graduate to this.
Oh my God. Thank God. I couldn't believe
I thought she looked cute. Everybody's going to tell me I'm being so nice today, but I thought she looked cute.
Let's not get panicky with the cute. Let's not get panicky.
I'm a girl. We get I see finally it's not slick back. And she had like a little poof going here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she actually used some dry shampoo. I'm down. I'm backing that. But taking your kids to get a massage when you want to spend time with them is a little weird to me.
But do a lot of people do that now?
I never did that. I don't know anybody that does that. I do know and have been a part of my friends taking their kids to get manicures and pedicures.
Yeah, I know that too. Yeah, my wife and daughter go and stuff like that.
We have a friend that Vito. Vito always calls her My Poor Des. All of our friends have a nickname. So My Poor Des comes out with us, and she has a little girl. We call her Abbers. And she loves Vito. She's been hanging around Vito since the day she was born. So Vito spoils her. So he took me and Des and Labbers out to get our manis and petties, and he took her out in the convertible. We were all in the convertible together. That's like kind of the thing that I know that we do. Like, yeah, Vito takes care of everybody. Like he was like taking my girls out for manis and petties. Yeah.
Well, let's face it. Listen to me, okay? To me, like, what's her name? What's the daughter's name again? Boo Boo, Boo Boo.
Boo Boo, or she called her Booger Butt. I'd be so
to me, Booger Boo Boo Butt, Boo Boo Booger, whatever.
Booger Boo Boo Butt. I like that.
Today, Booger Boo Boo. First of all, Booger Boo Boo is probably what, 8 or 9 at this point. Booger Boo Boo.
I think she's 8. Leah is her name. Leah.
Okay. Leah. Okay, so let me tell you something. 8-year-old getting a massage is freaking creepy to me. So here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. Let's just be honest and lay it out here. Okay. Amber wanted a massage. She wanted a massage. This, and this is the scheduled time with her daughter. So now I'm going to bring my 8-year-old in for a massage. That would be creepy to me. That would just be creepy to me.
I don't want a stranger touching my 8-year-old child.
Exactly.
This is not a doctor. This is not a chiropractor.
Does an 8-year-old need a freaking massage?
I need a massage. I don't think an 8-year-old does.
So, she wanted a massage. Okay, we get it because Amber, all the all the athletic activity she does, the working out, the treadmill, the walking, the running, the kickboxing, all the mountain climbing, all the athletic activity that she needs a massage. So I'm going to go get a massage. I'm going to go drag my.
I'm going to be real with you, Vince. Puffing those pillows up on the couch. That's a difficult workout.
Yeah,
that's hard. I do it myself. I'm jacked as hell. Like she might have needed that massage. And you know what, man? Like 2nd grade is hard.
Yeah.
2nd grade is hard, son. Crazy. That's like hard times. Yeah. That's like cleaning up the highway. Hard times.
Exactly. All right. So
just working for that gold watch.
Yeah, that's it. So what do you want to say about Gary now?
All right. I'm super into this. Gary.
I think you got a crush on Gary. I'm just gonna say it.
I like his dadness. I think he's a good dad. Okay. I think he's an excellent dad. Did you see the Being Gary special? I only caught a little bit of it. I never
saw that.
I'll send you a link.
Oh, okay. Now you just refreshed my memory. Bro, if that dude ain't his father, come on. You really, bro, you really have to get a freaking fraternity DNA test, whatever the hell it is. Are you freaking, bro, you came from that guy's pee-pee, bro. I don't need to see what happens next week. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
They're both sitting. One sitting here, one sitting there. They could have done the old Marx Brothers gimmick.
Oh my God, save the freaking money. Like, are you freaking, you need somebody to tell you came from that guy's loins, bro.
They were twins sitting on those chairs. It was, and that's no Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito shit. They were twins.
Oh my God.
You don't know that's your dad, dude. Look at his nose, man. Like, look at his eyes. Look at the way he talks. The way he talked was like, and there's this share the same way. I'm like, you're really going to waste money on it. MTV must have really been pushing for that one. Yo, Gary, you got to find out who your dad is. Oh, but Jody's my dad. I already know. No, dude. He might not be. We talked to your mom. We're gonna have to get that DNA test. You know they had to. The producers were doing that to Janelle too. Remember, they were like, "You have to go see your dad." Yeah. Well, I haven't seen my dad in years. You have to go see him. He's in Pennsylvania. You have to go see him. They did that to Gary. I think Gary's like, "Yeah, well, will you still be around if you're not my dad?" Yeah, because the dude knows he's your dad. Of course he's gonna be around. You still be the grandfather? Yeah, because they have my DNA. Because y'all are twins. Yeah, I am putting that out there. Gary, you should have saved the money. If MTV didn't pay for this shit, you should have saved the money and baked some more cookies.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, I wish he would come on the show with us, but I don't have a contact.
We follow each other, me and Gary.
Get Gary on the show because I hear constantly that this man makes the absolute best baked goods in the United States. Yeah, from everyone.
You want me to buzz Gary?
Yes, I want Gary to come on the show, and I want him to talk about his baked good stuff. Because he sells to, like, a lot of our people that listen have gotten stuff from him. They've gotten cookies shipped. they've one of the guys actually went to a farmer's market, bought a pie. He said it was like the best apple pie he ever had.
All right, I'll see what I could do. All right. Is that it with Gary?
Yeah. So now we wait with bated breath to see if Jody is Gary's father. Yes. Next time on Days of Our Lives. Yeah. So that's it. Amber was, let's get a massage and go back home and wipe our feet on the bare mat.
Yeah.
Am I saying his last name right? Is it Bear?
Bear? I think it's Bear, isn't it?
People criticize us for names. Do you guys have any idea?
Gives a shit. Boo boo
booger butt.
Who gives a crap? All right, what's next?
Bunhead and boo boo booger butt. That's a tongue twister. Okay,
that sounds like a kiddie's book.
Yeah. Oh, the Bunhead and Miss Boo Boo Booger Butt. Yeah. They go on an adventure. Hey, this is totally off topic, but do you know that in the book Humpty Dumpty and the nursery rhyme, they never say that he's an egg? Think about that. You've heard that all your life. They never say Humpty Dumpty is an egg.
So who determined that he was an egg?
I have no idea, but I was sitting in the house the other day and I was thinking, and I don't know why I think the things I do. We never have scrambled eggs.
Horses and all the King's Men couldn't put Humpty. So he was something that had a break. What was he?
Don't you think humans break?
What was he, a vase?
Don't you think humans break? Let me pull my walker out. So yeah, we break too. What if he was a knight and he got broken up? You know, they have some messed up nursery rhymes from back in like the Renaissance, Dark Ages era. You know, Ring Around the Rosie, that shit's about the plague. So let's see. Have you ever heard anybody in a book say Humpty Dumpty is an egg? Think it.
Interesting. All right.
Am I right? I am thought-provoking.
I got to think about that though over the week. I'm not ready to answer that right now.
Sit on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I can have a discussion on a live show later where we talk about messed up nursery rhymes. Okay, so onward and forward. I want to do Catelynn now because I have tons of Farrah stuff. So I want to discuss Catelynn now, and this was a very difficult thing to watch because Catelynn, everybody knows at this point, has had a miscarriage and she's trying to pull herself together and she's falling apart. And I know people think we've said things that we have not said because people don't listen to the show and they assume and whatever. We have never said anything about this miscarriage, about a suicide attempt or anything of that nature. And here's where the part where I'm going to be very honest with you. My son, Dominic, that everybody knows is Nick G, was a twin. And we lost the other baby. And Dominic has physical issues and things of that nature. When I first got pregnant, I was very sick. And I had very high hormone levels because when you're pregnant with twins, your hormone levels are double. So they said, you're double. So most likely you're pregnant with a twin. You know, what we'll do is in a couple of weeks, we're going to schedule an ultrasound. They try to give me medication for the nausea and whatever. When we had gone back to get the blood test and the ultrasound, all the levels had gone down and there was some, I guess, matter or whatever left that they don't do anything about really when you're already pregnant. They may now, but they didn't then. And they said, you've probably, it looks like, lost the other baby, but you are still pregnant and whatever. Some of my family members don't even know this because I dealt with it so internally. And I did the ultrasound by myself. I was married at the time. My husband didn't come, but he was aware of the situation. And my son is so cute. Like, he just goes, oh, I guess I was the evil twin. Like, he knows about it. But you go through phases of dealing with it. It's something that I've never actually sat down and dealt with myself because, like I said, some of my family members don't even know this. They know I was sick, but they don't know why. And it's hard. It turned out after I had my son, I had a condition called endometriosis. And what happened was when I finally did have my son.
Are you playing the endometriosis card?
You can't even say it.
Right, I'm sorry.
No, what happens is a lot of times when you have that, it's extra cells and things that grow and it causes you to have a lot of issues. It's almost similar to what Macy goes through. When I had my son, my uterus actually ripped off of the tubes and I had to have a hysterectomy. And it's hard to deal with things like that and to see, like, watch Catelynn go through that. And I couldn't really go through that because I was expecting a baby still. I had to prepare for this baby knowing that one was gone.
Yeah.
And watching that was difficult. And watching Tyler, and I've had my issues with Tyler, but watching Tyler just put his dad in rehab and then have to go and put his wife in rehab and break down is a heartbreaking thing to watch. It's a heartbreaking thing to watch. And if anybody feels like that anytime that they are going through something like that, there are channels you can reach out to. There are people that will listen, that will help you. There's not only rehabs, there's places you can contact anonymously online that will talk to you, that you can either call, you can email. There's even therapists now that will text you back and forth if your life is crazy and you just need somebody to talk to. There are people there for you to talk to. I wanted to make sure that got out. Few weeks ago, we had somebody come on our live show, Vito and I, and he was, him and his girlfriend of many years had broken up and she left and he was going to kill himself during our live show a few weeks ago. I mean, this recently just happened. I'm not going to give his last name. His name is Ted. And anybody that's on the live show knows and there was a lot of branders were on the live show with us on Facebook, and everybody was telling Ted reasons to live. And I said, Ted, inbox me. I'm going to get you help. Send me a DM. And we got Ted help, and Ted is doing better. And it's a few weeks later and he's doing okay. And in fact, he even got back together with his girl and worked things out. And he realized the reason she left was he had a problem. Reach out to anyone for help if you're in this situation. Even if you're coming on Periscope and Vince is on there, Vince will talk to you. Vince will help you. We're not experts, but we're here to listen because we're human beings and we're all children of God, and we're here to help each other.
Well, you know, Noel, you said something there, and like, I don't know, man. This might be unpopular, but I don't care because I'm going to say how I feel about the situation. First of all, when you said we're children of God, when you have God in your life, you look at things a lot differently. Amy had a miscarriage. Okay, my wife had a miscarriage. Okay, so I was in Tyler's position. My wife had a miscarriage, and I was Tyler's age. Okay. But when my wife had the miscarriage, you know, me being a Christian, my wife being a Christian, we accepted the fact that that wasn't meant to be. You know, I mean, that was a God thing. And for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be. And that really helped us deal with it. You know, it wasn't my wife's fault. It wasn't my fault. You know, it was a God thing. It wasn't meant to be. That helped us cope with it. The one thing that really stood out to me is when Catelynn, you know, she said, and then she broke down, I really wanted this baby. And you know what? I understand that my wife really wanted the baby too, but it's like, you know, again, I'm just going to say this, and it's not going to be popular. When you do have God in your life, you do look at things a little bit more differently, because as much as my wife wanted to have the baby, like Catelynn wanted to have the baby, you know, for whatever reason, God decided we're not having this baby. You know, and I mean, I don't know why. We don't know why God makes the decisions that he does. We'll find out one day why certain things happen in our lives. We don't know now, but just the fact that we had God in our lives made things a lot easier. Here's the part I can't put myself in Catelynn's skin. And, you know, Tyler, you know, he could get hot at me all he wants. You throw freaking tweets my way if you want. Okay. I can't relate to Catelynn, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I am a person that has dealt with depression. I am a person that went to treatment for depression. I am a person that's been prescribed medication for depression that I choose not to take. So there's no question I deal with depression. But I also know when reality kicks in, that kind of pushes my depression to a backseat. Like I can't, when reality kicks in and there's something I'm responsible for and there's something I have to take care of somehow or another, that supersedes my depression and I step up. The thing that is so troubling to me is, and I can't put myself in her shoes. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. But the thing that's really troubling for me is, okay, you lost a baby. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Again, a lot of women go through that. Noelle went through that. My wife went through that. A lot of women go through that. However, you still have a daughter that's depending on you, a daughter that's here. Your daughter is here. Your husband is here. You have a family that's here. So as much as I really wanted that baby, and now, I'm falling apart because of what happened with the baby. Okay, but you've got a daughter here that's depending on you. You've got a husband that's depending on you. And like I said, man, I've been in that spot, and like that was my wake-up call. I mean, my wake-up call was, bro, it's not about you, and it's not about how you're feeling and how disappointed you are. There are people that rely on you, that you've got to take care of. You can't let things go too far. And again, listen, bro, I don't know Noelle with the chemical imbalance and this and that, and it's a disease and it's a sickness. I don't know about all those things. But here's what I do know. This is what I do know. We've seen Catelynn's life long enough. There were high points. Like, it wasn't always this way. Remember when they first gave the baby up for adoption and she was going out everywhere, all over the place, speaking about it?
Right.
She was okay then. So that's why, that's why I have an issue with, oh, it's a disease, it's a sickness. We saw her when she was okay. Like, she was okay back then. I remember her with Dr. Drew and, speaking in front of people about what they went through as a couple. Like, she was okay then. That's why, like, my belief is, and I could be totally off point, it's my belief, I think you can handle when the depression becomes overwhelming. I think you just go into survival mode. And I think a lot of it is here. And I believe that a lot of it could be handled. And of course, I'm going to get ripped for that, and I'm going to be destroyed for that. But that's fine, bro. What I'm saying is, I've been diagnosed with depression. I understand it. My wife lost a child. Having God in our life kind of softened that blow. But as much as she wanted to have this baby, she still has a daughter that is depending on her.
Right. She even said, I miss my baby, before she got in the car. And I think she never really dealt with some of the issues. I mean, we're not in their lives every day. Right. But I don't think she dealt with some of those issues from Carly to begin with. It's great to go and talk to people and educate people. That makes you feel better when you can sit in a room with people that can relate to you. I say this to my husband all the time. I said, I don't have anybody I can speak to that I can relate to, because there's nobody I know that's in their 30s that's in their situation like me. Stroke card, bang, I just played it.
But remember, Noelle, that one season, she went to that group. Remember, she went to the group of the other women that gave up their children for adoption. I remember that.
Right. I think when it was the second baby, that's when it hit her. Yeah. I think when she was going out and she was speaking with people, it was before Nova, and they wrote a book, and they really tried to make it a cathartic experience for them. And she had the second baby. She got postpartum depression. And I think between her and Tyler, the thing that sticks in my head the most is when Tyler said, I will never have a Christmas morning where my two little girls will be under the Christmas tree opening gifts. There's things that stand out to me in the show. And I told you one last night was about, after we had interviewed Nathan, and it was such a good discussion with him. And I said, these people that when they attack Janelle and they'll say things to me because I'm this with her, all I could think of out of a portion of that, out of everything everybody says out of the portion of the show, was her curled up on the bed going, why doesn't anybody love me? I wish someone would love me. People, this is people's lives. They're on TV, and they give you, and MTV gives you what they want you to see. We're not in their lives every day, and we're not trying to criticize anybody's life. Part of the problem here in America is this. You started out your sentence with going, this is not going to be a popular opinion, and I'm going to get ripped for it. I think the problem here in America is this. We can't have our beliefs and we can't have our opinions without being ripped for it. We're not allowed to believe in things. We're not allowed to have our opinion or go through experiences that we share, because you're going to share an experience, I'm going to share an experience, and then the internet's going to go, oh, come on, you did this, you did that, this happened to you, and now you're going to talk about God. Maybe if more people talked about God, maybe we wouldn't have some of the problems. Maybe if people took portions of this show and took the compassion and showed the compassion to other people. You don't know what Vince and I have been through in our lives. You have no idea, not even a small amount. We don't know everything that they go through in their lives, but we know what's presented to us, and we know we can form an opinion from what's presented. What we say is an opinion. My opinion is if we believed in more things, it would be easier to get through more things. And if we believed in each other more and leaned on each other more instead of attacking each other all the time, we'd be able to get through more things as human beings. Catelynn needs help. She went and got help. It's not an overnight fix. What Vince is saying is definitely true. Sometimes you have to think in your head, I'm going to get over this. Repeat to yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm strong. Look at your daughter and say, I have to make sure she grows up as beautiful and strong. So I have to toughen up to do that. That's what Vince did when his son was born. That's what I did when my children were born. And I did the postpartum depression thing. And now people may get a little bit reason why I had it after my son. But you got to stand up and be strong. I wish the best for them both, but I wish for society that people would believe in more things and support each other better.
I agree. All right, let's go to Farrah.
All right, here we go. Wait, I got to stretch a little. This is going to be a long one. Okay, here we go. Farrah. Number one, just what I said about we see pieces of the show that they want you to see.
Right.
I heard from Michael, and I'm sure Michael does not mind me saying that. He was a little upset after the episode because if you watch the episode, and I'm not defending Farrah by any means. Not at all defending Farrah. I don't like the way she talks to people, treats people. I don't like the way she treats a lot of people. She seems to be nice to Amy and listen to Amy a little more, which is good. That's a good influence for her. And she should stick to listening to Amy. But oh my God, he said that the way that was edited was complete bullshit. And he said, and I was sitting there. So he knows. And he was upset that the shots, old shots from TMZ, talking about anal and her vagina were thrown into the mix in the editing. They were off the TMZ website, and he was upset. So Farrah went after Kristen again.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You're timing me out?
With all respect to Michael, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is a girl who a week earlier had her vaginal, what was it called? Rejuvenation. shot on TV. And here's the reason why I say that. Is Macy going to do that?
No.
Okay. So she had this vaginal rejuvenation and she chose to have that shown on TV.
But on the other hand, MTV chose to film that and air it.
Okay, but she could have refused to ever let them in the room.
That is true.
She
but
could have that's something she could have definitely shut down. No, you're not doing this.
She's a bit of an exhibitionist. A bit is being kind. She's an exhibitionist. I think that over the past few weeks, some things have come out where she said, yes, we walk around our home naked. My daughter and I have pictures of each other naked, right? Like, please. And she even said that Deb had pictures of them naked and Deb let them walk around the backyard naked when they were kids. It's just getting to be such a blown up situation. You go, okay, what's real and what's not real here? The real fact are Farrah and Kristen. Farrah goes for Kristen. We don't know why. It could just be she's angry and she's taking her anger out. There could be things said we don't see. We don't know. But she wanted to fire the set teacher for supposedly giving Sophia candy, which I don't understand what that's a thing. But she couldn't fire the set teacher because they're not really teachers. They are required by law to stay on set if you have a child that's filming in the state of California. There's other states that have this similar rules. It's child work laws. You have to follow child work laws if you're going to film children. And she wanted the set teacher fired, which meant the set teacher leaves. It takes a while to replace them. So then they can't film anything that Farrah does until they have a new set teacher. Because Farrah and Sophia are together. So that turned into a big blow up and a cuss out, and she stopped filming. But during this filming, she walked into a house where people clearly had a sign that said, please don't bother the residents of the home. She didn't call the real estate agent. She went up, knocked on the door. And then when the real estate agent texted her and said, I just got a text from the people in the house. And they said, you came in the house, you were touchy-feely, you were rude, whatever. And then she's like, you people are amateurs and blah, blah, blah. She just has such an anger problem visually on this show that it shows. Now, Michael said, he was upset about the editing, and we'll probably have him on within the next few weeks here to discuss that. He said he'd like to talk to Kristen one-on-one, but obviously we're probably not going to be able to get an MTV producer to come on our show to go back and forth with him. But we got left on to be continued on this. When Morgan J. Freeman's the big producer of the entire show. He comes to Michael's house and goes to talk to Farrah, and then we get it to be continued. But we all have seen online what happens. Farrah's going to get fired for doing live cam videos. You know what live cam videos are, correct, Vince?
Yeah.
People that don't know, a live cam video can be anything from a fetish video involving feet to an actual sexual act. They were never specific on what the live cam video was, but they flashed screenshots from TMZ. I know she's done the foot fetish video thing. Remember I sent you the thing where she had like oiled her feet and people are into that, I guess. So
that's gross. I'm
not the least job I would ever want to have other than a proctologist is a podiatrist. I don't like feet. So that's where we're at with Farrah. Now, Michael says that this is a matter of editing, that it was made for her to look bad, but she is doing these videos. I'm trying to play this down the center just because.
When somebody tells a producer, I hate you, how are you shooting that to make her look bad?
That's my question. Like, I'd like to know what leads up to that. How do you get to that point that you hate a human being that you work with? Yeah. Now, the producer she had previously, Heather, you remember Heather, right?
Yeah.
The previous producer and Farrah were very good friends. And Heather even stayed on the couch. We talked about it with Michael. Heather even stayed on the couch at Farrah's house when they did a late night shooting. And Farrah doesn't like people in her house. She's very specific about that. So Heather got fired. Nobody knows for sure the reason why. There's rumors that Amber had something to do with it. That's because she got too close to Farrah. It's because she slept on Farrah's couch, and then Kristen comes in. I don't know if it's because she feels pissed off they fired her friend, because they still hang out. She still shows pictures of her and Heather online hanging out. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if there's a personal issue, or if just Farrah's just maybe mean. I don't know. We just don't see enough.
God, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Just the idea of anybody wanting to hang out with Farrah, like, I'm sorry, man. I
tried to hunt down Heather to see if I could get her to come on the show. I went and looked for her. We make a very big effort, guys, to have guests on the show, just so you know. And everybody's very cordial and polite, and everybody except Deb. But Heather's IMDb, if you go on it and you see it, she has so many TV credits, producer credits, filming credits, and things. It's ridiculous. It's as long as your arm. So she got fired for something. There had to be something that happened, because she's been a successful producer on many other shows and continues to produce. So something happened there. This Kristen thing, there's something we are missing. I have a feeling we're missing something. I'd love for it to get to explain more. And you can't treat the people like shit you work with. We know that, being from the wrestling business and seeing the things and being, especially you, Vince, because you were a producer. You were a writer. You've done all these things. We've had difficult times working with difficult people, and it sucks. But you still work together, and you learn to live with it, and you learn to deal with it. Something's up.
Yeah.
Something's up. Now, they announced that Farrah's off the show finally because Michael's complaint was they wouldn't fire her so she could move on to other projects. Now we're going to slide into the rumor section. Are you ready? This is your favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
This isn't even a rumor. This is confirmed. Farrah now has been replaced by Teen Mom 3-star Mackenzie McKee. Yeah. She's the little blonde girl, cute little Southern blonde girl that had the diabetes. She has a couple kids. She's married now. Her mom has stage 4 cancer, which is usually, unfortunately, a terminal deal. I think MTV's taken advantage of the situation and using it. Now, I think so.
Is this the one whose husband was in the rodeo or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is she married to him?
Yes. She's married to him. They have they just had a baby not that long ago. Maybe a little over a year ago or so, but and she was very sick. Her and the baby were very, very sick. Now her mom is very sick, and they were filming a special with her. They were filming a special. Supposedly, we hear they were filming a special. They may have already been filming her for the next season and just said they were filming a special because they didn't want to fire Farrah. So Farrah has fired off a lawsuit to MTV, to Viacom, to the producer of the show, claiming that there's sexual abuse on the show, there's law breaking on the show, there's this, there's that, and the other thing, that these girls were taken advantage of at a young age. There continues to be abusive behavior throughout the show. And there's a petition circulating to get the show canceled, which lists every law and everything everybody's breaking, to Kale driving on a suspended license. And you guys can read this. This isn't me making this up. To using marijuana and throwing things over the camera and smoking marijuana in states that it's illegal. There's just a long list of these things.
Oh, and that's another thing too. I was reading, I forgot to mention this. I was reading this long article the other day about how the worst thing you could do when dealing with depression is smoke marijuana. Yeah,
we talked about that, and I went and looked it up. It's what's considered a downer. Yep. It makes it worse. People don't confuse that with like other things. Marijuana is a great use for medical things, and we know somebody that owns their own dispensary, and it's great for like sleeping and pain and chemotherapy and things. But for depression, it's not good.
Yeah,
it's a downer. So don't smoke marijuana if you're depressed.
What other dirt we have?
Okay, so Adam Lind, Chelsea's ex, the baby daddy, as a warrant out for his arrest for failure to pay child support.
Yeah.
So they're looking for him right now. He has 2 judgments against him. One is for over $12,000 and the other one is for almost $9,000. It's not specified who the parent is that is doing the support, because he has Paisley, which is his daughter from another relationship, and he has the daughter with Chelsea, but he's got a warrant and they want to pick him up for unpaid child support. And nowadays, unpaid child support, if it's not paid, means jail time if you're working. So he may be.
Here's a guy that told him he didn't want to do the show, bro. Do the freaking show and pay your child support, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
suck it up, man. Get the money and pay your child support.
He does like a fitness gimmick. Like he does the personal trainer thing.
Yeah.
That's what he supposedly does for a living. I mean, he's got a house and a car and everything else, but you got to pay your child support, man. Women shouldn't have to bear that whole burden. Yeah. If you ain't on a 50-50, you need to help out. And he's not on a 50-50. He's on monitored, whatever. And I'll tell you what, our buddy Randy will go looking for him himself, because Randy, Chelsea's dad, he'll go out and look for him.
That's crazy.
I love him. He's one of my favorite cast members. Yeah. He's such a cool guy. He's doing some great charity work too that we're probably going to be talking about over the next few weeks with veterans. And, everybody knows he's a dentist. So he's doing some stuff with veterans, helping them with their teeth, like injuries from Afghanistan, things like that, and jaws. So I'll get some more detail from that. But it's some really cool stuff he's doing. He's a really cool guy. If you don't follow him, go follow him on Twitter. The other thing that I have is you were on Kale's show. Hasn't aired yet. But
I wonder if it's going to air.
I hope it does, because I'd like the truth to get out about a few things. Like Vince and I don't sell T-shirts. If you're buying T-shirts with logos on them, they are not from Vince and I.
Yeah.
We have T-shirts for wrestling related things, but nothing with Teen Mom. We ain't trying to get sued by Viacom. We have no Teen Mom merch whatsoever. Right. So if you're buying from somebody, y'all better check who you're buying from, because it ain't us. Yeah, Kale on her show, she had Leah on. Sorry, I mispronounced her name. And she does the show with Lindsay Crisley. Crisley Knows Best, the show on USA, comes on after Raw sometimes.
Yeah.
She's the older daughter from a previous marriage. I love that show. I think it's funny. Anyway, so they were discussing having more children, and they were discussing going to a sperm bank to have more children. Leah says she wants a boy, and Kale says she wants a girl. So Lindsay Crisley goes, don't go to a sperm bank because you don't know if those people have mental illnesses or not. That's not funny. They don't know if they have mental illnesses or not. But Kale said she is looking at online profiles of the sperm bank. This comes right from her show. These are quotes. I do not make these things up.
And you sure she's not, and are you sure she's not kidding around?
I don't know. They were talking about having babies and things like that. I had the clip sent to me from someone. I don't know. I don't listen to the show, but right. Yeah, I don't know. If you go to a sperm bank, they go through a pretty, I don't know that much about it, but I know they go through a pretty much, like they go through your whole history when you donate to these places now. It's not like the old days where it's like, hey, you need some cash? Go hit one out and make a baby. It doesn't work like that anymore. They have to actually go through a screening. But oh my God, to say, oh, they can have mental problems you don't know about. So can anybody walking on the street, kids? Like if you're dating someone, do you have them fill out a profile card? What is your family medical history? Any mental illness, heart disease, diabetes?
Yeah.
What's your favorite color? Can you tell me what's in this picture and identify it correctly? Can you, like, is this what we do when we date now? Is this like a thing? I haven't dated in many years. Well, neither of us have. Maybe we need to get some like person on that's dated or is dating. Who do we know that's dating? Anybody? Yeah. We got all old married people.
I know.
We need to find some single swinging friends to help us out.
We got to figure that out. All right. What else? Is that it for the dirt?
Yeah, that's it for the dirt. This is unrelated to Teen Mom completely. I know I've come in with some unrelated things, and I apologize for that. But I found this great site on YouTube. And I posted a link to it on my Twitter for those who can see my Twitter. I posted a link on my Twitter, and it's on YouTube. And it's a motivational where people give different speeches that are amazing. And there was one I put up about a gentleman that talked about the smartest man that he ever knew was a third grade dropout, and it was his father. And it was such an amazing speech. And if anybody's on Twitter, go to my Twitter and look at this. Like, I'm not affiliated with this YouTube or anything, but I was listening to a William McRaven, and he's a U.S. Admiral, and he was giving a speech at a school. And he was talking about being a Navy SEAL. And I had to pull this quote, and it's exact as I could get it. But he said, Navy SEALs go on a night swim, and the instructors joke to try to scare them. And they'll say, oh, there's a lot of sharks in the water. They were in this area, but we've never had anybody eaten that we know of. So he says, if you're getting in the water and you want to pass the Navy SEALs test, you don't stop swimming if you see a shark. Don't act like you're afraid. If one darts at you, summon up all your strength and punch it in the snout. And then it'll go the other way. And he says, there are a lot of sharks in this world. And if you hope to be successful and complete the swim, you're going to have to deal with them. And that is such a good quote, because we deal with a lot of different things in life. And one thing that I will not tolerate or deal with is bullying. I will not be bullied. Vince will not be bullied. I'm not going to report you or do this or that. I'm going to make you not exist in my world. I'm going to hit a block button. I'm going to forget you exist. To bully people for doing a show, a TV show, a podcast, competing in a sport, not being what you consider a perfect person, I will not put up with, and I will not tolerate. And guess what? Next week, I'll be doing this show. And guess what I'll be doing the week after that? I'll be doing this show. Guess what I'm going to do the week after that? I'll be doing this show.
Very nice.
That's my message. So if you're a shark and I punch you and you don't go away, I'm going to use that old Batman shark repellent from the movie.
Very nice.
And then that's going to happen. So that's my statement for today. Thank you to the U.S. Admiral that gave me that wonderful advice via YouTube.
All right, give plug away. What's going on? What do you got going?
Oh, we have so much going on. My hubby's been away on a business trip, so Big Vito Brand has been on a pause, but we're coming back this week. We're gonna do some Periscope. Is Periscope that cool? Like we're such latecomers to this shit.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I was doing Periscope from the house, shitting on Cheap Air. Cheap Air is the worst website on the history of the world. Don't use it. They're not going to be a sponsor because they don't want to spend money. They just want to take your money. Book your flights on Priceline. Okay, so we got harlowinc.com. That's my website. It's harlowink.com. Lots of fun, cool things on there. You can go there. You can see videos of me wrestle. You can see videos of my husband. You can see pictures of the fam, different things like that. Collar and Elbow is our sponsor. We are the first sponsored couple, Vito and myself, of Collar and Elbow. They are releasing a Noel Harlow podcast shirt.
Very nice.
Thank you for everyone for keeping my name so relevant. They've asked me to produce a shirt for me, so that will be coming out soon, and you'll be able to purchase that and or burn an effigy, the Noel Harlow t-shirt.
Very nice.
We've got our YouTube channel. It's my husband's YouTube channel, youtube.com/thebigvitobrand. We come on live on Thursdays, occasionally taped if we have a guest, but usually live on Thursdays with our show Back to Reality. Talk about real life, talk about things. He has a podcast on Podcast One with my good friend Vince. They are on with Getting Color. They are also on the Realm Network. So make sure you check that out. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am screening Twitter. You cannot have a blocked account. You have to be open. Vince, who's calling?
Who? I don't know. But listen to me.
Is it Gary?
No.
Oh.
Hey, you got the Noel Harlow shirt coming out on. I got the like motto that you could put on the back of the shirt.
What's that?
What did you say earlier about when you lost the second baby? What were you suffering after that?
Endometriosis.
Yeah, play the endometriosis card. Very
yes. I'm gonna put I'm a survivor. Endometriosis. We're like a little fist, like I'm a survivor. Yeah, endometriosis is a bitch. Yeah. It's rough. But you know what? Hey, when you come out and you say things and you talk about things, they're no longer taboo. If we come out and say things about depression and we talk about women's issues and we talk about strokes, we save lives. We save lives.
God
you want to shit on people for talking about being blind? You want to tell people about having a stroke? I'm sorry. I will talk about it to the end of time, because if one person recognizes that symptom and it saves one person, then I did something. Thank you, and God bless America.
And right now I'm sitting here with plantar fasciitis.
Did you get the link that I sent you? I emailed you a link.
Yeah,
plantar fasciitis. Get it. Stop, bro.
Nothing helps, man. Nothing helps.
Dude, I'm telling you, my brother, he marches. Got plantar fasciitis. Get this thing. Get some gel insert. If you don't have a t-shirt that says plantar fasciitis on the back, I will be highly disappointed.
I gotta get one of those. All right, listen, we gotta go. I gotta get this show to Podcast One for us to make
that too much. We talked before we went on the air.
Next week, Nathan. Next week, Nathan on the show. Tell your friends. It'll be a good interview.
I love it. Ashley's never spoke out before.
Ashley's never spoken. Lovely Ashley. The dog, whatever the dog's name was, makes an appearance on the show.
Toro.
Nice. Who? Toro. Toro. All right. There you go, everybody. That's it. This is a wrap for Vince Russo and the Princess Noel Harlow. This was Spilling the Teen Mom Tea. We will see you next week, next Saturday, with Nathan Griffith. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.